All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Today, I wanted to make a quick video going over how I use CE, midpoints of fair value gaps, and how I align those with conditions when like kind of forming a bias. So if you guys see my trade recap, I have no idea when I'll upload this. This was from today, the bank holiday, May 25th. So here are the executions. I took a break even and then this winning trade. But I'm going to explain how I used my condition in order to catch this trade. So if you guys don't know what conditions are, I have like multiple videos on them. If I remember, I'll link them in the comments. If you go to my education playlist, you'll see them. It says something about conditions. I can't really remember, but basically conditions are just like scenarios that you kind of set for yourself in order to want to place a trade. So what it's going to be is kind of like a higher time frame fair value gap that's in between your draws and liquidity. So at this point in time, what is our draw on liquidity? Okay, for buy side, our main draw on liquidity is going to be all-time high. For sell side, we have this 930 wick, and then we have this hourly low down here. And what's in between it is this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. Let me just mark that out. Okay, so basically the way I'm looking at this, I'm using if-then statements. If price comes into this 15-minute gap and respects it, and we get a long confirmation, what will I do? I will look for longs back towards all-time high. But if price trades and disrespects this 15-minute gap, we trade through it, what will I do? I will then look potentially for shorts to take out the sell side draws, which is going to be that 930 wick and that hourly low down there. So what happens, right? We know, first of all, that the CE, or the midpoint of a fair value gap, is one of the most important parts, you know what I mean, to look at in a fair value gap. It's the most important thing, because a lot of the times what you'll notice is price will come down, tap the midpoint of a fair value gap, and then it'll respect it and it'll continue higher or continue lower if it's a bearish gap, right? So what you're going to notice a lot of the times is that when price starts to trade below the CE, or the midpoint of a fair value gap, this is where the probability of this gap holding starts to decrease. Now, can price come down all the way to the edge of this fair value gap and continue to push price higher? Yes, but if we have draws on liquidity the other way, we're closing below the midpoint of a fair value gap, we're disrespecting it, there's a higher probability that we're going to continue lower and trade through this gap than we are to kind of go like this and then just respect it and go higher, if that makes sense. So what did I do here? I see price come down, we edge we edge the all-time highs, we put in we edged all-time highs before this. So let me just mark that out like that. And price starts coming down into this 15-minute gap. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we tap into this 15-minute gap here. I kind of want longs because we have these equal highs up here with all-time high. But what happens? Price just continues more and more through this fair value gap, this 15-minute gap, which again is our condition. But do I want to short right here? No. Do I want to short right here? No. I want to wait for the midpoint of this fair value gap to get disrespected in order for me to want to look for shorts. So at this point, this 5-minute candle closes strongly below the midpoint of this 15-minute gap. So at this point, this is telling me that price is clearly disrespecting bullish, and it's probably going to want to continue lower at this point. So you really need to pay attention to the midpoint of the higher time frame condition, which in this case is this 15-minute gap. So once we close below this 5-minute gap, could you just completely short right here? I mean, you could technically, but I personally want a little bit of a lower time frame confirmation and entry. And the thing is here, again, we have a 930 wick below, which is an insanely strong draw on liquidity, and we have some lows below. We have lows down here that we can target, right? So I'm going to play forward here. I'm going to show you the entry that I took. If you've seen the trade recap, you already know, but what happens? Price comes down, closes through that 15-minute CE, that 15-minute gap. We get this little retrace. We wick into this 5-minute gap. So therefore, I'm looking at this like a continuation. We're respecting this 5-minute. If we get confirmation, I want to short. Scaling down, I take my entry off of this 1-minute close right here. I see strong momentum, strong volume. I take my trade there. I go break even at the 930 low, which was this low right here, and then I targeted just past. Again, this was just an eval trade, but the point still stands. I use this every single day when I'm trading my fundeds and in the live markets every single day. So the main point here, when you set a condition as a higher time frame gap, and I always say, okay, when you set your condition, I always say in my when I do a trade recap, I always say, if price comes into this condition, what am I doing? If we respect it, I'm looking for higher. If we disrespect it, I'm looking for lower. So when I say respect it, I want to see price come into this 15-minute gap, especially respect the midpoint of this gap, show displacement to the upside, and then I would have longed this trade, right? But since we start closing below and disrespecting the midpoint, which is the key area of this gap, this is telling me that this condition is failing to push price higher, and it's likely going to get disrespected and price is going to just flush through it. So again, once we disrespect the midpoint, this is saying, okay, we're disrespecting the 15-minute condition. Let me get a retrace entry and look for continuations lower. Again, we get that tap into that 5-minute gap, and we take the continuation lower, and it works out perfectly. So this is how you need to be treating your conditions. If you're using higher time frame fair value gaps as a condition, if price comes in, respects it, and you know you get displacement off of it, you have a clear draw above or below, then you take it. But if price comes in, starts disrespecting and closing through the midpoint, you get a clear continuation model, then you can probably target the other side of that condition. That's how you need to trade it. You don't want to just be seeing price come in here and saying, oh, and then start shorting here, because what's going to happen? You're going to get manipulated. Price is going to tap CE and it's going to go the other way. You want to see price clearly trade through CE, confirm that it likely wants to, trade through, and then you want to look for that confirmation. So just a quick video on how, or something that I use to treat my conditions and how it increases my win rate a lot, because a lot of times people will see, oh, we're trending lower, and they'll try to short right here, but what will happen? Price again manipulate lower, respect CE, and then continue higher. And you don't want to just be forcing longs here, because again, price can easily continue through a fair value gap. Just because price is in a fair value gap does not mean it's going to support and push higher. Fair value gaps will fail, obviously. So anyway, that's it from you guys. Want to knock this quick video out. Again, I'll try to link the conditions video if I remember, but it's in my education playlist. So just check the comments. I'll put it in there. And that's it from me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.